Okay, guys, I'm going to begin our training for February to the administrators. First off, if I was an administrator, as of today, I would not order anything else in my building. I would stop all ordering because February is a tough month. I would not run out of anything, but I would check my inventory, make sure I got everything I need. On staples, I would follow what the regs say about how many days of staples I need to have. But I would not purchase anything I do not have to purchase. Okay? Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is who's who in the company. As you all know, Shantae is your chief operating officer. Danielle is your director of operations. I am your co-president along with Rick DeStefani. If anything goes wrong in any of these areas, or if you have any concerns or any questions, Um, these are the individuals you would get a hold of. When it comes to the CSCs, Shantae, maintenance, Wintrick, housekeeping, Wintrick, laundry, Wintrick, activities, Wintrick, central supply, Danielle, medical records, Wintrick, nursing, Danielle, words of focus, Wintrick, transportation, Wintrick, human resource, Wintrick, business office, Shantae. Social service, Shantae. MDS, Danielle. This is an easy form to read. When it comes to the CSCs, you see the Shantae's number one, Wintrick's number two, and Danielle is number three. Okay, guys, you all know we're making major cuts in the company. We have to cut about 400,000 a month. Anyway, along with that, it's just good budget, the four legs of the stool, keeping things under control, keeping a watch on everything. As you know, the four legs of the stool is care, census, budget, and empowerment. When it comes to budget, 80, the department heads can spend up to 80%. From 80 to 100, they got to have the administrator's approval, and anything over 100% has to be approved by the regional, myself, or Shantae. What I am saying, what has been accepted in the past, overlooked in the past, and not dealt with in the past is past. We have to do a better job on watching our cost. So, with that being said, if I'm running a nursing home, I'm only going to give my department head 60% of my budget. The only place this won't work will be in dietary, raw food. But everywhere where else, I would give only 60% to the department head, and I would be involved from 60 to 100%. Watch your food costs. Dietary is an area that we really have been getting hit on. So when your dietary manager is making her report and ordering food, you should be involved. HR tracker. HR trackers need to be looked at, reviewed on a weekly basis. You should make sure that everybody working has everything they need. We have been hit quite a bit in HR. This needs to stop. Our administrators need to get involved. Phones on all units. Telephones need to be on all units. Staff need to be able to page overhead anytime they need to be able to page overhead. Make sure you have working phones on every unit. These phones only cost $30 a piece. You can order them on Amazon and have them the next day. You can even order the cordless phones on Amazon for a very low cost. There is no excuse for you not having phones working in your building. Every department head and every unit should have a phone. In March, the statement of operations is coming out. Anything in red that has not been approved by myself, Shantae, or the regional, you will be held responsible and accountable, and disciplinary actions will be given. So make sure if there's any red on your statement of operations, make sure that you can explain what that overage is. We will need inventory of all equipment in your building. I want to know what's in use and what's not in use. We could save a lot of money by just sharing and having our own little rent-a-center. So I want this done by Friday of this week. Please send me a complete inventory of everything you have in your building. Walkers, wound vacs, oxygen machines. Okay. I want to know also on this inventory, we will create a company inventory list. That way we can share it with every home. Watch your staffing costs. You can't be over in staffing costs without approval. You ought to be having staffing meetings daily. You cannot use agency or shift key without approval from your chief operating officer. Phones, computers, walkie-talkies, things of that nature. Who's responsible for this? And have we agreed upon how many phones you're going to have, how many computers you're going to have, and walkie-talkies? This needs to be talked about and dealt with. It will be hard to get cell phones and computers in this company unless we have already agreed upon the amount of phones and computers and things of that nature. So this does need to get done speedily. Also, in our cost-cutting efforts, we are not going to pay for anybody's phones anymore. All of your department heads, all of your staff will be given a $35 stipend if they are required to have a phone. And as far as Oculus, we will pay for Oculus for all of our department heads. For AITs, they have to pay for their own Oculus. We'll buy them, but the AITs have to reimburse us for the Oculus. Okay. Put in place declining budget so you don't run over in costs. I do have a video I'm going to try to play. If not, I will add a video from Shantae that explains the declining budget process. We do not ever want to get away from procurement partners because it is a digital program and it is an excellent program. But until it does exactly what we need it to do, or until we find a program that does do exactly what we need it to do, the declining budget process should be utilized. Make sure when your statement of operation comes out, you're able to explain everything. We are asking for cuts from each facility. If you're 90 bids and under, we need $10,000. If you're 91 to 140, we need $15K. And if you're 140 and over, if you're 141 and over, we're asking for $25,000 in cuts. These can be hard cuts and soft cuts. Remember, our hard cut is cutting staff. That is something that we feel immediately from a financial standpoint. A soft cut is not a wage of a staff. A soft cut would be cutting products, equipment, things of that nature. We will accept either one. Please have this to me by Monday, 12 noon. Administrator checklist needs to be in place in every building. And the reason I'm going over this is because we're coming to your building and we're going to put synergy and we're going to make sure that the worlds of focus is in every building. So these are some things that you could have in place before I get to your building that would make us accelerate our process. Number one, make sure administrator checklist is in place. 7 changes of clothes, or make sure that gets in place. It's hard for your staff to keep rooms clean when you have over 7 changes of clothes. For medical units and Alzheimer's unit, you may need a little bit more than 7 changes of clothes, maybe 10 changes. Okay. If you do the 7 changes of clothes, it has to be approved through your resident rights committee and added to your covenant guidelines. Okay, next, what residents in your building do we need to have a level 2 done again? These are residents that you need to get rid of, residents that you can't handle, residents that don't meet your level of care. Any resident of that nature, please get a hold of Lakeisha Ward. She will explain to you the process, and she will lead you and walk you through the process. So please get a list of all the residents that do not fit your level of care. Get a hold of Lakeisha Ward, and let's get this process done by Friday of this week. You must be careful where and what unit your sex offenders are on. If they are sex offenders, they should either be on a men or women's unit. If they're on a medical unit, they should be total care or just about total care, or in the type of condition where they are not a threat to anybody else. Who is over your Oculus in your building and over your iPads, over your phones, your walkie-talkies? There should be somebody over them, and there should be a report sent to you every Monday telling you everybody has them, they're working, and they're in place. Okay? You should have Oculus for every department head, but you should also have a Oculus for the residents. In a 60-bed facility, you should have 5. In a 120-bed facility, you should have 10. And in a 160-bed facility, you should have 15. These are things that you should get in place before I come into your building. We are coming to your building, and we do want to see you begin putting synergy in your building as quick as possible. Okay, synergy is coming to your building, and we don't want no red in your building. I'm going to stop this process and start training number 2.